Hey everyone, the three Americans here. Lee, TwoGoMojo.com. I got Tom the Bear. Ty's out for this one. Hey Tom, this is a very interesting topic. We mentioned before we started recording here. Female genital mutilation in America. We're not talking Africa. We're not talking anyplace else. We're talking here in America. And so according to this article, it's estimated that every day 8,000 girls worldwide are cut and marred in a debilitating process called female genital mutilation. So that's worldwide, but it's becoming a huge epidemic here in America. And according to the article, states are putting laws into place to make it illegal. And only 24 states have laws in place that would make it illegal. 26 do not. Frankly, I would think that it's assault with a weapon, even though there's not specific wording in those other 26 states regarding this particular atrocity, which is what it is. It's outrageous. And what the audience needs to understand is that this practice of female genital mutilation comes from Muslim countries. Obozo has imported over the last 8 years before he left office hundreds of thousands, if not more than a million or more, couple million illegal or migrants. They're not necessarily legal, but migrants from these Middle Eastern countries that practice this. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's obviously some people are arguing for it because it's cultural. And I mean, I wouldn't want to be one of those girls that this happened to, and so forth and so on. So I mean, you can go into a lot of articles. This is actually a very interesting story to try to understand and stuff like that. Some people might even try to compare it to like male circumcision. What's the difference? Well, if you educate yourself on these, absolutely there's a huge difference. There is no medical benefit. There is no reason for it other than a practice for I think one of the articles actually went on to say that it's an antiquated methodology to symbolize purity or whatever, preparing a woman for marriage, et cetera, et cetera. It's mutilation. I mean, it really is mutilation. And obviously there's a reason why there's some laws going into place, why there's even an entire group dedicated to try to prevent this, because it's an atrocity. It's something that is being brought over from Muslim countries, or that methodology or that ideology, and that's where it's coming from. And to me, it's just it's horrifying. So
absolutely. It is. So you mentioned something I think is very important. You made a comparison, or that these cultures have compared it to circumcision. Well, first of all, we're talking about people that take this practice literally into their own hands. They're not doctors. It's not done in a sterile environment. It's not done in a way that's not going to damage the woman or the girl. It's done barbarically with a box cutter, or a utility knife or something, by people that aren't trained. Now let's set all that aside. Let's assume that they went to a medical professional. It was done in a sterile environment. It's still barbaric. It's this paradigm that they have. It's this mental thought process that they have, that this part of a woman's body is somehow evil and should be cut out. And you know what? Frankly, I'm all for freedom of choice. But you know what? A woman who is 18 years old can make that choice, not little kids. And if you read the article, they specifically mention one Ethiopian man who spent 10 years in jail and then was deported back to Ethiopia when he got out because he did this to his 2-year-old daughter. Are you kidding me? They should have executed him for that. That is just insane. And this practice goes on. And again, I want to come back to what I think is most important. The lies that we're being told about Islam and Muslims. These are not people of peace. Islam is not a religion of peace. It's a religion of, it's barbaric. It's a religion of oppression, cruelty, and death. We've seen, and it's not on topic, but we've seen many an article on honor killings. You know, a daughter disgraces the family, so it's okay for the dad to just kill the daughter. I mean, women are less than cattle. Cattle, pets are treated better in the Islamic world than women are. It's absolutely insane. And this is just, it's absolutely barbaric. There is no necessity for it, like you said. You cannot compare it to circumcision. It's just, it's absolutely crazy.
It's great that you bring up the honor killings and stuff like that, because again, culturally, or at least this ideology, is very, I would say, barbaric. And I'm not trying to say that all Muslims are barbarians or anything like that, but the methodologies behind it are, these honor killings where if a girl disgraces the family, it's acceptable to be stoned. I mean, it's not like it's a controlled lethal injection or something like of that nature to get rid of it. All the methodologies to get rid of somebody seem to be so barbaric. I mean, stoning or whatever the case may be, or letting all the women of the village beat you until you're dead. Things of those natures, and obviously this is another example of that barbaric ideology where it's okay to do it this way, not in a manner that's controlled or anything like that. It's horrifying. We hear it all the time. It's when you really look into some of the ideology of this of the Islamic religion. You know, it's like, how are you supposed to coexist with somebody who wants to kill you, who says it is okay to their God, not only okay, but encouraged to kill the infidel, and they think we're all infidels. So they're, again, their own religion tells them it's okay to kill you. It is okay. Not only is it okay, I think you should do it. If you're a true believer, you should kill those infidels. That's the ideology behind it. So how can you coexist with somebody who's trying to kill you? It's ridiculous. And of course, we're pumping them in. We're saying no, they're refugees. They're being oppressed. Hey, and I'm all for, if they, again, because that ideology is so crazy that if people want to come over here and assimilate, and take on our culture because it's more acceptable or whatever the case may be, hey, I'm all for it, but let's have some control behind it. Let's have some assimilation. Let's not just bring that culture, that government policy, that government ideology that people hate so much, which is why they're leaving, and bring it here. That makes no sense. I had another point, but I forgot what it was.
As Bobby Jindal said, Governor Jindal, immigration without assimilation is invasion. And that's what this is. It's an invasion of an ideology that is wholly incompatible with Western civilization and the American way of life. And the American way of life at its simplest form being liberty and freedom. And where are all these liberal feminists about freedom of choice? And about okay, fine. If a woman from an Islamic country wants to do this, she needs to be 18 and make that personal choice herself and then go to a licensed medical doctor who will perform it for her. I suspect that if that were the case, even a woman from Islam probably wouldn't choose to do that. You figured it out, Tom?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you said it. My other point was that that's exactly what pisses me off about these leftist women here in the U.S. protesting and marching and making it sound like they're so damned oppressed, and so forth and so on. I mean, for God's sakes, go over there, see what they're treated like, and then tell me that you're oppressed here. It's again, it's ridiculous. It's, if you ask me, anybody in the U.S. who is so, again, oppressed or feels that they're oppressed or whatever the case may be, go to these other countries and go fight for their rights. It's just, again, it's ridiculous.
So let's end it on this. Hey, Madonna. Hey, Ashley Judd. You were at the feminist protest the day after Trump was sworn in. Why don't both of you get on a plane and fly to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and watch what happens the moment you step off the plane on the tarmac or into the airport. You will be arrested because you're not completely covered from head to toe, and they will probably drag you out and stone you. Like you said, Tom, a barbaric ideology. They would have no problem dragging you out and having a group of men pick up rocks and stone you until you're dead. It's barbaric. And that's what we're talking about, is barbarism. This practice is absolutely barbaric. And you're all for freedom of choice. How about freedom of choice for the girl to make her own choice when she's old enough to understand the ramifications of that choice? Absolutely.